This is the audiobook of Class 10th English book, First Flight, chapter number 11, The Proposal, by Anton Chekhov. Before you read, activity. First, the word proposal has several meanings. Can you guess what sort of proposal the play is about? First, a suggestion, plan, or scheme for doing something. Second, an offer for a possible plan or action. Third, the act of asking someone's hand in marriage. A Russian wedding. Do you know anything about a Russian marriage ceremony? Read this article about the Russian wedding. Preparations for a Russian wedding. A Russian wedding is very simple. The planning only includes arranging from rings, bride's dress, cars, and a reception. Earlier, the bride's family paid for the reception, but nowadays, brides and grooms' families usually share expenses. A Russian wedding lasts for 2 days. Some weddings last as long as a week, and the occasion becomes something to remember for years. The necessary part of the wedding ceremony is a wedding procession of several cars. The best friends of the groom or bride meet before the wedding a few times, make posters, write speeches, and organize contests. When the groom arrives to fetch the bride for the registration, he has to fight to get her. Russians usually live in apartments and tall buildings, and the groom has to climb several stairs to reach his bride. But at each landing, he must answer a question to be allowed to go up. The bride's friends ask difficult questions, sometimes about the bride, sometimes just difficult riddles, and the groom must answer with the help of his friends. For example, he may be shown a few photos of baby girls and he must say which one his bride is. If he guesses wrong, he must pay cash to move ahead. After the marriage registration, the newly married couple leaves the guest for a tour of the city sights. After 2 or 3 hours of the city tour, the couple arrives at the reception. The couple sits at a specially arranged table with their family, friends, and invited guests. The reception starts with toast to the couple. A wedding toast is a custom where a close friend or relative of the groom or the bride says a few words to wish the couple, then everyone raises the glass of wine and drink it up at the same moment. The groom is then asked to kiss the bride. After a few toasts, people start eating and drinking and generally have fun. After some time, the bride gets stolen. She disappears, and when the groom starts looking for her, he is asked to pay a fee. Usually it is his friends who steal the bride. Then there are the bride's friends, they steal the bride's shoe. The groom must pay money for the shoe too. The guests enjoy watching these tussles and continuing partying. Second, do you think Indian and Russian weddings have any customs in common? With the help of a partner, fill in the table below. Wedding ceremonies in Russia and India. Customs similar to Indian ones in the first column, and the second, customs different from the Indian ones. The Proposal, originally titled A Marriage Proposal, is a one-act play, a farce, by the Russian short story writer and dramatist Anton Chekhov. It was written in between the years 1888 to 1889. The play is about the tendency of wealthy families to seek ties with other wealthy families, to increase the estates by encouraging marriages that make good economic sense. Ivan Lomov, a long-time wealthy neighbor of Stepan Shubukov, also wealthy, comes to seek the hand of Shubukov's 25-year-old daughter Natalia. All three are quarrelsome people and they quarrel over petty issues. The proposal is in danger of being forgotten amidst all this quarreling. But economic good sense ensures that the proposal is made, after all, although the quarreling perhaps continues. Let's start with the play. Characters: Stephen Stefanovich Shubukov, a landowner; Natalia Stefanova, his daughter, 25 years old; Ivan Vasilovich Lomov, a neighbor of Shubukov, a large and haughty but very suspicious landowner; A drawing room in Shubukov's house. Lomov enters wearing a dress jacket and white gloves. Shubukov rises to meet him. Shubukov, my dear fellow, whom do I see? Ivan Vasilovich, I am extremely glad. Squeezes his hand. Now this is a surprise, my darling. How are you? Lomov, thank you. And how may you be getting on? Shubukov, we just get along somehow, my angel, thanks to your prayers and so on. Sit down, please do. Now you know you shouldn't forget all about your neighbors, my darling. My dear fellow, why are you so formal in your get-up? Evening dress, gloves, and so on. Can you be going anywhere, my treasure? Lomov, no, I've come only to see you, honored Stefan Stefanovich. Shubukov, then why are you in evening dress, my precious, as if you're paying a New Year's Eve visit? Lomov, well, you see, it's like this, takes his arm. I've come to you, honored Stefan Stefanovich, to trouble you with a request. Not once or twice have I already had the privilege of applying to you for help, and you have always, so to speak. I must ask your pardon. I'm getting excited. I shall drink some water, honored Stefan Stefanovich. Drinks. Shubukov, aside. He's come to borrow money. Shan't give him any. Aloud. What is it, my beauty? Lomov. You see, honored Stefanovich, I beg pardon, Stefan Honorich. I'm awfully excited, as you will please notice. In short, you alone can help me, though I don't deserve it, of course, and haven't any right to count on your assistance. Shubukov. Oh, don't go round and round it, darling. Spit it out. Well? Lomov. One moment, this very minute. The fact is, I have come to ask the hand of your daughter, Natalia Stefanova, in marriage. Shubukov, joyfully. By Jove, Ivan Vasilovich, say it again. I didn't hear it at all. Lomov, I have the honor to ask. Shubukov, interrupting. My dear fellow, I am so glad, and so on. Yes, indeed, and all that sort of thing. Embraces and kisses Lomov. I have been hoping for it for a long time. It's been my continual desire, sheds a tear. And I've always loved you, my angel, and if you were my own son. May God give you both His help and His love and so on and so much hope. What am I behaving in this idiotic way for? I'm off my balance with joy. Absolutely off my balance. Oh, with all my soul, I'll go and call Natasha and all that. Lomov, greatly moved. Honored Stefan Stefanovich, do you think I may count on her consent? Shubukov, why, of course, my darling, and as if she won't consent, she's in love. Egad, she's like a lovesick cat and so on. Shan't be long. Exit. Lomov, it's cold. I'm trembling all over, just as if I'd got an examination before me. The great thing is, I must have my mind made up. If I give myself time to think, to hesitate, to talk a lot, to look for an ideal or for a real love, then I'll never get married. Brr, it's cold. Natalia Stefanova is an excellent housekeeper, not bad looking, well educated. What more do I want? But I'm getting a noise in my ears from excitement. Drinks? And it's impossible for me not to marry. In the first place, I am already 35, a critical age, so to speak. In the second place, I ought to lead a quiet and regular life. I suffer from palpitations, I'm excitable and always getting awfully upset. At this very moment my lips are trembling, and there's a twitch in my right eyebrow. But the very worst of all is the way I sleep. I no sooner get into bed and begin to go off, when suddenly something in my left side gives a pull, and I can feel it in my shoulder and head. I jump up like a lunatic, walk about a bit, and lie down again. But as soon as I begin to get off to sleep, there's another pull, and this may happen 20 times. Natalia Stefanova comes in. Natalia, well there, it's you, and Papa said. go, there's a merchant come for his goods. How do you do? Ivan Vasilovich. Lomov. How do you do, honored Natalia Stefanova? Natalia. You must excuse my apron and necklace. We're shelling peas for drying. Why haven't you been there for such a long time? Sit down. They seat themselves. Won't you have some lunch? Lomov. No, thank you. I've had some already. Natalia. Then smoke. Here are the matches. The weather is splendid now, but yesterday it was so wet that the workmen didn't do anything all day. How much hay have you staked? Just think, I felt greedy and had a whole field cut, and now I'm not at all pleased about it because I'm afraid my hay may rot. I ought to have waited a bit. But what's this? Why, you're in evening dress. Well, I never. Are you going to a ball or what? Though I must say you look better. Tell me, why are you got up like that? Lomov, excited. You see, honored Natalia Stefanovna, the fact is, I've made up my mind to ask you to hear me out. Of course, you'll be surprised and perhaps even angry, but aside, it's awfully cold. Natalia, what's the matter? Well, Lomov, I shall try to be brief. You must know, honored Natalia Stefanovna, that I've long since my childhood, in fact, had the privilege of knowing your family. My late aunt and her husband, from whom, as you know, I inherited my land, always had the greatest respect for your father and your late mother. The Lomovs and the Shubukovs have always had the most friendly, and I might almost say the most affectionate regard for each other. And as you know my land is a near neighbor of yours, you will remember that my oxen meadows touch your beech woods. Natalia, excuse me interrupting you. You say my oxen meadows? But are they yours? Lomov, yes, mine. Natalia, what are you talking about? Oxen meadows are ours, not yours. Lomov, no, mine, honored Natalia Stefanovna. Natalia, well, I never knew that before. How do you make that out? Lomov, how? I'm speaking of those oxen meadows which are wedged in between your birch woods and the burnt marsh. Natalia, yes, they're ours. Lomov, no, you're mistaken, honored Natalia Stefanovna. They are mine. Natalia, just think, Ivan Vasilovich, how long have they been yours? Lomov, how long? As long as I can remember. Natalia, really? You won't get me to believe that. Lomov, but you can see from the documents, honored Natalia Stefanovna, oxen meadows, it's true, were once the subject of dispute, but now everybody knows that they are mine. There's nothing to argue about. You see, my aunt's grandmother gave the free use of these meadows in perpetuity to the peasants of your father's grandfather, in return for which they were to make bricks for her. The peasants belonging to your father's grandfather had the free use of the meadows for 40 years, and had got into the habit of regarding them as their own, when it happened that… Natalia, no, it isn't at all like that. Both grandfather and great-grandfather reckon that their land extended to burnt marsh, which means that oxen meadows were ours. I don't see what there is to argue about. It's simply silly. Lomov, I'll show you the documents, Natalia Stefanovna. Natalia, no, you're simply joking or making fun of me. What a surprise! We have had the land for nearly 300 years and then we are suddenly told that it isn't ours? Ivan Vasilovich, I can hardly believe my own ears. These meadows aren't worth much to me. They only come to 5 desiatins and are worth perhaps 300 rubles. But I can't stand unfairness. Say what you will, I can't stand unfairness. Lomov, hear me out, I implore you. The peasants of your father's grandfather, as I have already had the honor of explaining to you, used to bake bricks for my aunt's grandmother. Now my aunt's grandmother, wishing to make them a pleasant… Natalia, I can't make head or tail of all these about aunts and grandfathers and grandmothers. The meadows are ours, that's all. Lomov, mine. Natalia, ours? You can go on proving it for 2 days on end, you can go in and put on 15 dress jackets. But I tell you, they are ours, ours, ours. I don't want anything of yours and I don't want to give anything of mine. So there. Lomov. Natalia Stefanovna, I don't want the medals, but I am acting on principle. If you like, I'll make you a present of them. Natalia. I can make you a present of them myself, because they are mine. Your behavior, Ivan Vasilovich, is strange, to say the least. Up to this, we have always thought of you as a good neighbor, a friend. Last year we lent you our threshing machine, although on that account we had to put off our own threshing till November, but you behaved to us as if we were gypsies, giving me my own land indeed. No, really, that's not at all neighborly. In my opinion, it's even impudent, if you want to know. Lomov. Then you make out that I'm a land grabber? Madam, never in my life have I grabbed anybody else's land, and I shan't allow anybody to accuse me of having done so. Quickly steps to the carafe and drinks more water. Oxen meadows are mine. Natalia. It's not true. They are ours. Lomov. Mine. Natalia. It's not true. I'll prove it. I'll send my mowers out to the meadows this very day. Lomov. What? Natalia. My mowers will be there this very day. Lomov. I'll give it to them in the neck. Natalia. You dare. Lomov clutches at his heart. Oxen meadows are mine. You understand? Mine. Natalia. Please don't shout. You can shout yourself hoarse in your own house, but here I must ask you to restrain yourself. Lomov. If it wasn't, madam, for this awful, excruciating palpitation, if my whole inside wasn't upset, I'd talk to you in a different way. Oxen meadows are mine. Natalia. Ours. Lomov. Mine. Natalia. Ours. Lomov. Mine. Enter Shubukov. Shubukov. What's the matter? What are you shouting for? Natalia. Papa, please tell this gentleman who owns Oxen Meadows, we or he? Shubukov to Lomov. Darling, the meadows are ours. Lomov. But please, Stefan Stefanovich, how can they be yours? Do be a reasonable man. My aunt's grandmother gave the meadows for the temporary and free use of your grandfather's peasants. The peasants used the land for 40 years and got accustomed to it as if it was their own. When it happened that… Shubukov. Excuse me, my precious, you forgot just this, that the peasants didn't pay your grandmother and all that, because the meadows were in dispute and so on. And now everybody knows that they are ours. It means you haven't seen the plan. Lomov. I'll prove to you that they are mine. Shubukov. You won't prove it, my darling. Lomov. I shall. Shubukov. Dear one, why yell like that? You won't prove anything just by yelling. I don't want anything of yours, and don't intend to give up what I have. Why should I? And you know, my beloved, that if you propose to go on arguing about it, I'd much sooner give up the meadows to the peasants than to you, dear. Lomov. I don't understand. How have you the right to give away someone else's property? Shubukov. You may take it that I know whether I have the right or not. Because, young man, I am not used to being spoken to in that tone of voice and so on. I, young man, am twice your age and ask you to speak to me without agitating yourself and all that. Lomov. No, you just think I'm a fool and want to have me on. You call my land yours and then you want me to talk to you calmly and politely. Good neighbors don't behave like that, Stefan Stefanovich. You are not a good neighbor. You are a grabber. Shubukov. What's that? What did you say? Natalia. Papa, send the mowers out to the meadows at once. Shubukov. What did you say, sir? Natalia. Oxen meadows are ours, and I shan't give them up. Shan't give them up. Shan't give them up. Lomov. We'll see. I'll have the matter taken to court, and then I'll show you. Shubukov. To court? You can take it to court and all that. You can. I know you. You're just on the lookout for a chance to go to court and all that. You pettifogger. All your people were like that. All of them. Lomov. Never mind about my people. The Lomovs have all been honorable people, and not once has ever been tried for embezzlement like your grandfather. Shubukov, you Lomovs have had lunacy in your family, all of you. Natalia, all. Shubukov, Shubukov, your grandfather was a drunkard, and your younger aunt, Natasya Mikhailovna, ran away with an architect, and so on, Lomov, and your mother was humpbacked. Clutches at his heart, something pulling in my side. My head, help, water! Shubukov, your father was a guzzling gambler. Natalia, and there haven't been many backbiters to equal your aunt. Shubukov, my left foot has gone to sleep. You're an intriguer. Oh, my heart. And it's an open secret that before the last elections I can see stars. Where's my head? Natalia, it's slow. It's dishonest. It's mean. Shubukov, and you're just a malicious, double-faced intriguer. Yes. Lomov, here's my head. My heart. Which way? Where's the door? Oh, I think I'm dying. My foot's quite numb. Goes to the door. Shubukov following him. And don't set foot in my house again. Natalia, take it to court. We'll see. Lomov staggers out. Shubukov, devil take him. Walks about in excitement. Natalia, what a rascal. What trust can one have in one's neighbors after that? Shubukov, the villain, the scarecrow. Natalia, the monster. First he takes our land and then he has the impudence to abuse us. Shubukov, and that blind hen, yes, that turnip goat has the confounded cheek to make a proposal and so on. What? A proposal? Natalia, what proposal? Shubukov, why, he came here to propose to you. Natalia, to propose? To me? Why didn't you tell me so before? Shubukov, so he dresses up in evening clothes, the stuffed sausage, the wizen-faced front? Natalia, to propose to me? Falls into an easy chair and wails. Bring him back. Bring him here. Shubukov, bring whom here? Natalia, quick, I'm ill, fetch him. Hysterics. Shubukov, what's that? What's the matter with you? Clutches his head. Oh, unhappy man that I am. I'll shoot myself, I'll hang myself. We have done for her. Natalia, I'm dying, fetch him. Shubukov, at once, don't yell. Runs out a pause. Natalia Stefanova wails. Natalia, what have they done to me? Fetch him back, fetch him. A pause. Shubukov runs in. Shubukov, he's coming, and so on. Devil take him. Talk to him yourself. I don't want to. Natalia wails, fetch him. Shubukov yells, he's coming, I tell you. Oh, what a burden the Lord to be the father of a grown-up daughter. I'll cut my throat, I'll indeed. We cursed him, abused him, drove him out, and it's all you. You. Natalia, no, it was you. Shubukov, I tell you it's not my fault. Lomov appears to the door. Now you talk to him yourself. Exit. Lomov enters exhausted. Lomov enters exhausted. My heart's palpitating awfully. My foot's gone to sleep. There's something that keeps pulling in my side. Natalia, forgive us, Ivan Vasilovich. We're all a little heated. I remember now. Oxen meadows really are yours. Lomov, my heart's beating awfully. My meadows, my eyebrows are both twitching. Natalia, the meadows are yours. Yes, yours. Do sit down. We were wrong. Lomov, I did it on principle. My land is worth little to me, but the principle. Natalia, yes, the principle, just so. Now let's talk of something else. Lomov, The more so as I have evidence my aunt's grandmother gave the land to your father's grandfather's peasants. Natalie. Yes, let it pass. I wish I knew how to get him started. Are you going to start shooting soon? Lomov. I'm thinking of having a go at the Black Rock on Natalia Stefanova after the harvest. Oh, have you heard? Just think what a misfortune I've had. My dog, guess who you know, has gone lame. Natalia. What a pity. Why? Lomov. I don't know, must have got his leg twisted or bitten by some other dog. My very best dog, to say nothing of all the expense I gave Mironov 125 rubles for him. Natalia. It was too much even in Vasilovich. Lomov. I think it was very cheap. He's a first-rate dog. Natalia. Papa gives 85 rubles for his squeezer, and squeezer heaps better than guess. Lomov. Squeezer better than guess? What an idea! Ha! Squeezer better than guess? Natalia. Of course he's better. Of course. Squeezer is young. He may develop a bit, but on points and pedigree he's better than anything that even Volchanitsky has got. Lomov. Excuse me, Natalia Stefanova, but you forgot that he is overshot. And an overshot always means the dog is a bad hunter. Natalia. Overshot? Is he? The first time I hear it. Lomov. I assure you that his lower jaws are shorter than the upper. Natalia. Have you measured? Lomov. Yes, he's all right at following, of course, but if you want to get hold of anything. Natalia. In the first place, our squeezer is not a thoroughbred animal, the son of harness and chisels, while they are no getting at the pedigree of your dog at all. He's old and as ugly as a worn-out cab horse. Lomov. He's old, but I wouldn't take 5 squeezers for him. Why? How can you? Guess it's a dog. As for squeezer, well, it's too funny to argue. Anybody you like has a dog as good as squeezer. You may find them under every bush almost. 25 rubles would be a handsome price to pay for him. Natalia. There's some demon of contradiction in you today. Ivan Vasilovich. First you pretend that the meadows are yours. Now that guess is better than squeezer. I don't like people who don't say what they would mean. Because you know perfectly well that squeezer is 100 times better than your silly guess. Why you want to say he isn't? Lomov. I see, Natalia Stefanova, that you consider me either blind or fool. You must realize that squeezer is overshot. Natalia. It's not true. Lomov. He is. Natalia. It's not true. Lomov. Why shout, madam? Natalia. Why talk rot? It's awful. It's time your guess was short, and you compare him with squeezer. Lomov. Excuse me, I cannot continue this discussion. My heart is palpitating. Natalia. I've noticed that those hunters argue most who know least. Lomov. Madam, please be silent. My heart is going to pieces. Shut up. Natalia. I shan't shut up until you acknowledge that squeezer is 100 times better than your guess. Lomov. 100 times worse. Be hanged to your squeezer, his head, eyes, shoulder. Natalia. There's no need to hang your silly guess. He's half dead already. Lomov. Shut up. My heart's bursting. I shan't shut up. Enter Shubukov. What's the matter now? Natalia. Papa, tell us truly, which is the better dog, a squeezer or his guess? Lomov. Stefan Stefanovich, I implore you to tell me just one thing. Is your squeezer overshot or not? Yes or no? Shubukov. And suppose he is. What does it matter? He's the best dog in the district for all that, and so on. Lomov. But isn't my guess better, really, now? Shubukov. Don't excite yourself, my precious one. Allow me. Your guest certainly has his good points. He's purebred, firm on his feet, has well-sprung ribs, and all that. But, my dear man, if you want to know the truth, that dog has 2 defects. He is old and is short in the muzzle. Lomov. Excuse me, my heart. Let's take the facts. You will remember that on the Maroninsky hunt my guest ran neck and neck with the Count's dog, while Squeezer was left a whole worst behind. Shubukov. He got left behind because the Count's whipper hit him with his whip. Lomov. And with good reason, the dogs are running after a fox when Squeezer goes and starts worrying a sheep. Shubukov. It's not true, my dear fellow. I'm very liable to lose my temper, and so, just because of that, let's stop arguing. You started because everybody's always jealous of everybody else's dog. Yes, we are all like that. You too, sir, aren't blameless. You no sooner begin with this and that and the other and all that. I remember everything. Lomov. I remember too. Shubukov, teasing him. I remember too. What do you remember? Lomov. My heart. My foot's gone to sleep. I can't. Natalia, teasing. My heart? What sort of a hunter are you? You ought to go and lie on the kitchen oven and catch black beetles, not go after foxes. My heart? Shubukov. Yes, really, what sort of a hunter are you anyway? You ought to sit at home with your palpitations and not go tracking animals. You could go hunting, but you only go to argue with people and interfere with the dogs and on. Let's change the subject in case I lost my temper. You're not a hunter at all, anyway. Lomov. And are you a hunter? You only go hunting to get in with the Count and to intrigue. Oh my heart, you're an intriguer. Shubukov. What? I'm an intriguer? Shut up. Lomov. Intriguer. Boy, pup. Lomov. All right, Jisset. Shubukov. Shut up, or I'll shoot you like a partridge, you fool. Lomov. Everybody knows that. Oh my heart, your late wife used to beat you. My feet, temples, sparks, I fall. Shubukov. And you're under the slipper of your housekeeper. Lomov. There, my heart's burst. My shoulder's come off. Where's my shoulder? I die. Falls into an armchair. A doctor. Shubukov. Boy. Milsop. Fool. I'm sick. Sick. Natalia. What sort of a hunter are you? You can't even sit on a horse. To her father. Papa, what's the matter with him? Papa, look, Papa. Ivan Vasilovich, he's dead. Shubukov. I'm sick. I can't breathe. Air. Natalia. He's dead. Ivan Vasilovich? Ivan Vasilovich? What have you done to me? He's dead. Falls into an armchair. A doctor. Shubukov. Oh, what is it? What's the matter? Natalia. He's dead. Dead. Shubukov. Who's dead? Look at Lomov. So he is? My word. Water. A doctor. Lifts a tumbler to Lomov's mouth. Drink this. No, he doesn't drink. It means he's dead and all that. I'm the most unhappy of men. Why don't I put a bullet into my brain? Why haven't I cut my throat yet? What am I waiting for? Give me a knife. Give me a pistol. Lomov moves. He seems to be coming round. Drink some water. That's right. Lomov. I see stars. Mist. Where am I? Shubukov. Hurry up and get married, and well, to the devil with you. She's willing. He puts Lomov's hand into his daughter's. She's willing and all that. I give you my blessing and so on. Only leave me in peace. Lomov, getting up. What? To whom? Shubukov. She's willing. Well, kiss and be damned to you. Natalia wails. He's alive. Yes, I'm willing. Shubukov. Kiss each other. Lomov. Kiss whom? They kiss. Very nice too. Excuse me, what's it all about? Oh, now I understand. My heart. Stars. I'm happy. Natalia Stefanovna kisses hand. My foot's gone to sleep. Natalia. I'm happy too. Shubukov. What a weight off my shoulder. Oof. Natalia. But still you will admit now that guess is worse than Squeezer? Lomov. Better. Natalia. Worse. Shubukov. Well, that's a way to start your family bliss. Have some champagne. Lomov. He's better. Natalia. Worse, 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 she broke off, trying to shut her down. Champagne, champagne, curtain.